Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the Microsoft Hoster Bootcamp. And this will be a session of 3. Today's number 1. We especially did it for 3 weeks after another, so that you have a very dense solution, dense presentation, dense content you can immediately implement after you follow the sessions. Each session will be around an hour. But before we're going to start, I first want to thank Arrow for hosting this webinar, and of course Microsoft to make it possible to develop this content, especially for you as partners from Arrow, to give an outside view of what's going to happen in the market on the cloud business, what Microsoft is offering, and how you actually can enable your cloud business to work together with the distributor and to work together with Microsoft Azure. So Jurgen, thank you. As already mentioned, everything will be recorded, but your face will not be recognized in the recording, so don't worry about that. And questions, put them in the chat. At the end of the session, we have room enough to answer all those questions. But immediately put them in the chat immediately when you have a question during the session, so that we can look at it at the end. So thank you everybody for your time. It's 1 hour, but I make sure that it's worth the time to bring added value to create more business for the future. So my name is Ed Rubens. I work for 4Place Digital. 4Place Digital is actually what to say from insight to execution. And we are an independent consultancy company advisory party. And we asked by Microsoft to support you together with Arrow to look at the market. So what we say is from insight to execution. And with insight, we mean we bring data to the table. So not just our thoughts or our feeling or our ideas, but we put data behind everything we explain, everything we tell you. And you will see that especially during the first webinar, that we have a lot of data available that supports the trends in the market, that supports your business. So our goal is to, and we enable partners in their sales execution and their go-to-market transformation. Together with Pierre, Meles, and Massimo, we are here to help you, and I'm going to do these three webinars for the next 3 weeks. So actually, what is this? What is it? What does this program look like? It's an enablement program dedicated, developed for you as a SPLA business. And we're using actually your experience. I'm going to come back to that because you all filled in, or most of you filled in a survey, and come back to that with the results. So it's using your experience, the Microsoft Azure experience, and our view and data we collected the last couple of years with 4Place Digital. So what I said, everything is based on facts and figures and data. And as promised also in the invitation, it's all about the business side of the story. So it's not about the technical side. So don't worry. There won't be any technical part in this webinar, 3 webinars, because it's really focused on the business side and on enabling your business with your own company together with Microsoft. And how you look at the customers and what's going on in the market. So the scope of these 3 sessions is actually 3 topics that are interconnected with each other. Today, we actually start with the assessment. So the assess part, and I'll show you here. So with the assess, then next time on the qualify, and the third webinar, we will focus on execution. So today, we're going to assess your Azure opportunity in the market as a company. So the existing SPLA business, but also the SPLA business of the future, what we see and the trends we see. So next week, we're going to qualify. So how you're going to qualify your Azure opportunity. And we'll give you tools and scenarios you can use to help your customer to bring added value, but also to grow your business as a company. So there you can see the opportunity. And the third one is execution on your Azure campaigns, because you have to put it out there in the market. So how are you going to calculate the TCO of an IT infrastructure? What are the planning tools you have to run the campaign, and what's needed to make it a successful campaign? So all is based on the opportunity to increase your margin, to increase your revenue, and to increase actually your share or wallet within your customers, so your existing customers, but also new customers. And what we focus on is, and you will see that later on in more detail, where to grow and how to win. That's also actually the subtitle of this whole program: where to grow and how to win. Because you want to grow your business, you want to grow your skills, you want to grow your tool set, you want to grow your mindset. So I'm going to explain today also what's needed to be successful. And it's a mindset, it's a skill set, and it's a tool set. So I repeat that. It's a mindset, it's a skill set, and it's a tool set. So make some notes during the presentation, that's fine. But I repeat this because those three topics are very important, and I'm going to elaborate on that later on. So a little bit more detail. Today, the session is about assess, so the opportunity. So where to play, how to win. We're gonna focus and explain the results of the Azure Readiness Benchmark score. So that's the survey. Most of you already replied to that one. That gives you insight in the data of almost 1,000 partners in Europe. Are you ready? You can benchmark it against those partners. So I will explain the topics of that survey, and you can benchmark your own company. And then what I just said, the success factors: mindset, skill set, and tool set. We're going to elaborate on that. Then next week, it's about qualify. So we're going to focus on the Azure customer journey. It's not about you. It's about the customers. If you help them, you help yourself, and you help Microsoft and your distributor. So it's about the customer journey and your offer. And we're going to focus there on 3 steps: the core, growth, and transformation, and on the band in action. And what it all is, I'm going to explain next week. And then the last one is in 3 weeks from now. That's your Azure campaigns. So the 5 steps for a successful campaign, the operational consideration as an organization, and how to start. And we're going to give you tools to succeed. So today is about assess. And preparing this whole webinar and collecting all the data, I was sometimes shocked, or not shocked, is a negative word, but surprised about the potential, how the market looks like, how the market is evolving. I'm going to show that with the numbers. But the objective is we're going to focus on the why and the what. So the why is discover and what are the chances you have. Why is so important to look at the hybrid cloud solutions and to differentiate in a highly competitive cloud managed service world? So, and what are the important drivers for a customer to choose for the hybrid cloud solution? So you have your business model as an organization. You have data centers, most of you themselves, or maybe it's in the cloud. So the objective is how you're going to migrate, how you're going to transform, and how you're going to differentiate like an organization in this competitive market towards your customer, because your end user, they make their choices. So there's all about today. And we're going to give you some market context. So what is the market context and what's happening in the market? And to give you insight in the market data and the research data on the survey we did with 1,000 partners in Europe, all Microsoft partners, but also other partners. So that gives you a good insight in not only Belgium, but also the view on Europe. We have data collected in there from Spain, from Germany, from Denmark, from Italy, from the Netherlands, from the UK. So it gives you a good overview what's happening also around you and the countries around you. And this one was actually very interesting. How is the cloud business evolving? How fast is it growing in this new world? If you look at Microsoft, for example, their Q2 fiscal 2023, they grew from 147 billion to 189 billion. And so if you look at that, they grow 24% year over year in their cloud revenue. 24%. I don't know how fast your business is growing within your own company, but double digits is already good, but 24% is enormous. But not only Microsoft is doing that, because of course this is focusing on Microsoft Azure, but there's more. And so we also looked at Amazon and their Q4 2022, so almost half a year ago, they also grow 20% year over year to 21.4 billion revenue. So you see that those companies are almost the same size. And if you look at Alphabet, Google is climbing enormous. Their business grow 32%, and they are smaller than the rest. But if you look this together, they are more than 50 billion business together, and they're growing between 20 and 30% on a yearly basis. So if there's a question mark whether this is an interesting business, yes, it is, because there's big potential. That is how fast the partners are growing, the business, the cloud providers are growing. And if you look at the total market, the managed service provider market, their size of the total market worldwide exceeds 200 billion in 2020. And the forecast expectations from Fortune Business Insight said that the business will grow to $550 billion in 2028. That's 5 years from now. So it's 250 now, and it grows to 550 or 300 billion additional business they expect on a worldwide level. And also the number of providers, managed service providers, is growing. It's above 100,000 companies in the world at the moment, and it's growing. So people say it's in the existing market. It's also a new market because the expansion is still there, and you also see that different categories of managed service providers emerge. Niche parties will come, specialization. So the growth potential is enormous, and these numbers give you a clear view of the potential in the market, and the cake is big enough for everybody. So my idea to you is, if you want to grow, focus on this one and take a big piece of that cake. Already mentioned that the market is evolving to hybrid cloud. And why is it happening? Because the world is mainly hybrid. Companies, so actually your customers, are busy with both private and public cloud. And if you look at this research report from Flexera, public cloud, only public cloud is 16%. Companies only using private cloud is 4%. So the hybrid cloud area is 80% of the total business. Imagine 80%. And what we see with a lot of partners, a lot of companies who provide cloud business from a dedicated data center, from their own platform. So not from the public, but from the private cloud, that most partners have their own data center, their own private cloud solution for customers. But look, only 4% is only using private. 60% is only using public. So if you're able to offer a hybrid cloud solution from your company as a service, it's a mixture of your own and the public, you have a big market to address. And also what customers are willing, because they make the decision, they make the choice to go for public, for hybrid, of a private cloud. So there's a huge opportunity here. And I can only tell you, listen what they want and make sure that your business adapts to that. And I'll explain that later. Because there was a survey also from Vexera. What are the top challenges from your customers? And what you see here is that cloud, security, and expertise, and cloud are actually the main domains. Those top 9, they're all very close to each other. So 85% mentioned that security is the biggest challenge, up to 71% for the managing multi-cloud. But all the topics have to deal with security, expertise, and agility. So we all know that 85% of your customers have a challenge with security. So if you're able, from your organization, from your own data center, or together with Microsoft Azure, to offer a security solution, you are sure that 85% of your existing customers or the potential new customers are interested in security, because it's a major challenge. Lack of resources. We all know that these days, although the world is changing and there's a lot going on, there is a lack of resource available. So not all your customers are able to have their own expertise, their own specialists on board, their own developers, their own cloud people. So they're looking for resource. They're looking for companies who have everything in place and can offer the services. And they want to manage their spend on cloud. So those 3 are the main topics. But you see, everything had to do with governance, with the licenses they have in the cloud. Are they compliant? The cloud teams, and also the cloud migration towards the cloud, from the cloud, and managing the whole cloud business, and especially the multi-cloud solution, because we all know now that 80%, at least 80%, is a hybrid cloud solutions. So keep this in mind, because you see, if you address those topics, those challenges, and you are able to give solutions for that, you touch the pain points of your customer. Of course, each of you have a different specialization, have a different mindset, skill set, or tool set available, and I'm going to explain how you can decide where to go. But before doing that, I want to add something to the challenges and the market that's going on. What I said, the SPLA business is growing a lot. 123% year growth rate on the SPLA business service providers, growing with Azure. But also the existing parties in the market, they're facing challenges. And I cannot imagine, okay, I can imagine that you facing the same challenges. So as a private cloud provider, you see decreasing margins. Pricing are going up, costs are going up, pricing is going down, costs are going up. And so the traditional business model is actually hurting your profits. So beside that, there's a customer churn. Your customer is going more to consumption-based models, hybrid models instead of private models. And the top line revenue, you see that, yeah, a lot of business probably have a negative growth or a growth, but not enough. So customers want to enable hybrid cloud. A lot of customers leave in the traditional data centers. So that is a challenge for you. But there's also an opportunity, because they go hand in hand. And that's the reason why we developed this webinars, to see what's going on in the market, to see what's going on with partners and providers, but also see the big opportunity, because the opportunity is there. So one-sided challenge, but knowing this and seeing what the trends look like, there's also a big opportunity. And where is then the growth? Because this is the growth according to a survey from Microsoft. And you see it here. That this is traditional managed services growth. This is the growth for Azure business. But if you start enabling additional competencies, scale Azure, you go to market increases, and you become an innovation partner, this is actually the growth roadmap for Azure. So you see here that the companies who follow this roadmap, that the public cloud is growing 6 times the rate of the IT spending growth in the world. So that means that from every $100 or euros or whatever companies spend, the growth in the cloud business is 6 times. And 80% is deploying public cloud business. And here comes the interesting part. The survey from IDC and other researchers shows that the cloud partners who work with Azure, they outperform their peers. So they grow 2 times compared with a non-hybrid cloud or non-Azure business. 1.95 the profit and 1.8 times recurring revenue. So this is very interesting. So looking to your business from today into the future, consider this as an option. And how to do that and where to focus on, I'm going to explain that. So I'm going to show this because I just showed you the challenges. And Microsoft has the service available in Microsoft Azure, especially for hosters and service providers. These are the services they offer to the market, and they want to help you and your customers with the challenges. Because what you see here is that agility, so the scale and extent, was one of the challenges of your customer. That's provided by Microsoft. Backup, failure, security, recovery is offered. Interesting thing here, the new service from Azure Arc, in that they offer security services. If you can remember a couple of slides back, the major challenge of your customers is security. 85% mentioned that security is number one challenges. So this is available. Innovation. They want to innovate, evolve, and they want to manage their cloud. And you saw on the top 9, managing the cloud business, managing the licenses, everything that has to do with capacity and managing costs is one of their top 9 challenges. So the new services provided by Microsoft is covering the challenge of the customer, because it's so important to listen to the customer what their challenges are and make a solution that's based on that, and then you're going to create business. We are in a kind of changing world the last 3 years, and everybody knows. And are we in a crisis? Was it a crisis? Are we out of the crisis, or are we heading a crisis? Nobody knows exactly. But what we see is that the last 3 years, the crisis has actually forced every company into kind of massive experience in how to be more nimble, flexible, and fast, because things were changing so rapidly. Business models were changing, people working from home, different business models, companies, new companies started, companies grow 30, 40, 50, 60%. So how to manage that? So, and this actually crisis also forced companies like Microsoft to not only have data center solutions, but also cloud and hybrid solutions. And they developed a lot of that the last couple of years. And COVID-19 was actually an accelerator for already a long-term projected growth. I showed you the growth towards 2028 that the cloud business will be over $550 billion on a worldwide scale. So the digital adoption from the last couple of years has taken a quantum leap, a huge step for both organizations, but also on the industry level, but also for people. So COVID-19 was a big accelerator for the whole business. And that's also, I think this is a great moment to show you what the last 3 years were, what happened the last 3 years, and how this can help you. So then the big question comes, who is going to help your customers to transform? And that's you. And we do that from an approach, and we call that design thinking applied. From a customer perspective, what are their problems? What are their needs? And what are their pain points? So always keep the customer in mind. And there's a huge opportunity for you as an IT partner. So problems, needs, and pain points. If you address those, the rest is less discussion because they want to be helped in their business challenges. The big question, of course, is how to transform. How to transform your own company towards those customers, assuming that you want to address more of their challenges. The challenges we just showed you, the top 9. So, and we call that where to play and how to win. So where do you want to play in the market and how are you going to win in that market? So, in this diagram, I'm going to show you how we enable the business growth. And here it comes to the 3 words I mentioned in the beginning: mindset, skill set, and tool set. So write them already down because those 3 are so important in enabling your business growth. So mindset, skill set, and tool set. What shows the diagram? Where to play, how to win. You have core business, growth business, and transformational business. So here is actually the core business of your company. Here is the growth business, and there is a transformational business. What does it say? You have existing offering, you offer now to the market, and you have new offerings. So actually, what do you sell? So actually, how to win. You have existing customers, and you have new customers. So where do you play? Yeah. So what do you sell? So who do you sell to? Sorry, who do you sell to, and what do you sell? And what transformation do you actually enable with the customer? And you will see that it's core, growth, and transformational. So you're really going to transform your business, but also you're going to transform your customer's business. And if you help them together, you will enable your business growth. So for existing customers towards new customers, you need a tool set. A tool set that enables to target new markets. What do you need? And I'm going to give you examples so that you know exactly what I mean. So what are the tools that you need? And here, what is a skill set? Because if you want to have an existing offering where you have all the skills on board, but you want to have a new offering in the market, you need new tool sets, or new skill sets. So you need those skill sets to enable to build new offerings. So tool sets to enable new markets and skill sets for new offerings. But all comes with the mindset. So the mindset activates the transformation approach. I'm going to repeat that. The mindset activates the transformation approach. So your mindset on how you're going to approach this transformation is key for the success. So your question will probably be, how to transform then my mindset? But first, what is mindset? It's a set of beliefs that shape you, how you make sense of the world and yourself. So what do you believe from that's always true? So do you have a fixed mindset, so it's always the same, or do you have a growth mindset? Do you're open to transform and adapt? And the impact of mindset is enormous on and how you're going to change it. So your mindset is, if it's fixed, try to focus it on the journey. When you want to build a growth mindset, if you focus on the value in your journey, when you are fixated on the end result, that will help you. That will help you to evolve and to grow in your mind. Because then you make steps, you learn a lot on your journey. And also incorporate the word yet. If you're struggling with a task, for example, remind yourself that you haven't mastered it yourself yet. So don't think, oh, we did it before, oh, it's too difficult, or I cannot do it. I cannot do it yet. I don't master it yet. I don't know it yet. So, and be very focusing on and pay attention to words. Replace negative thoughts with positive thoughts. So if you think it's too difficult, competitor is stronger. No, we can do it. We are good. We have the right people. We want to win. We can help the customer. That sounds more difficult, much better than we cannot help the customer. We cannot do it. My colleague is not working well. So change the negative words for positive words. And it's allowed to making mistakes, because that's the best way to learn. So start a journey, focus on the journey, incorporate the word yet, pay attention to the positive words, and take a challenge. So make mistakes. So, and instead of shying away from the challenges, you embrace them and make sure that your organization and yourself learn. And you will see that if you do those 4 things, so focus on the journey, incorporate yet, attention to thoughts or positive thoughts, and embrace the challenges, that your mindset will change from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset. I elaborated on this one because this is so important to change your approach, to change your view, to change your organization towards the new services that are available in the market. So you transform this to analyze the market, what we just did. So you see that there's a huge opportunity. Although we think maybe it's not growing, it's growing very fast. So recognize the opportunities and see maybe the roadblocks, that's fine, but in a positive way. Acknowledge that there is an impact on your organization. So embrace that challenge instead of, I don't want to change. And make sure that you have internal alignment on what's going on and how we're going to focus. And decisions to invest or not invest, to accelerate investment or delay it. So those questions and the answer to that change your mindset in a positive, more opportunity-driven approach of your organization. And it's always easy to align it to compare it with the sports. If you think you can win the Olympic Games, your body and mind is changing. If you think, I'm never going to win it, I'm not going to even make it to the final, what's going to happen? If you think you cannot win the world champion because you think you're not good enough, if you think, whatever, I can win, we can win, we can do it, that's a complete different approach. I think everybody recognized from daily small things, playing sports in the weekend, even on the lower level. If you have this mindset, you can win. Then a skill set. What is actually a skill set? It's the technical capacity and technical capabilities of people you have inside your organization. Do you have the skill set to sell cloud business? It's not a transactional business. It's a more solution selling business, customer focused business. And how's adoption of cloud in your organization and in yourself as a person? So do you have the skill set available, and is the process available within your organization to support this whole transformation? And how are you going to change that if it's not there? So create business planning and control in your organization that's based on the tool set. Sorry. So the third part is tool set. So tool sets actually, so you have the skill set for people and the tool set like business control, like managing teams, communication and storytelling, and driving customers to a journey. So do you have, beside the skill set, the mindset and skill set, also the tool set available to support this journey? The funny thing is, and for those who did the survey, you will see that the mindset, the skill set, and the tool set, they were also part of the survey. And the survey is actually driving the revenue. So there were 14 questions. One is just who you are. And there were 4 questions on mindset, 4 on skill set, and 4 on tool set. And I'm going to show you now the results of those surveys. There are 12 questions, those 12. I'm going to show you a couple to explain how it works and the most important one. I'm going to share afterwards also the result of the other questions so that you can benchmark your own organization to actually the average or the best partners in Europe. So where are you? But I'm going to explain and you will see how it works. One of the question is vision about the cloud. The question was, do you consider cloud computing as a strategic driver for your company? And what you see here in all slides is 1 is not at all, 2 is a limited way, 3 is yes, 4 is cloud is a major driver, and 5, we are 100% cloud focused. The result of this question is 3.2 on average. So the interesting thing is here that 68% see cloud as strategic driver, although not as the key one. So number 4 and 5 are the most important one. So more than 1/3 say cloud is a major driver or the only direction for growth. So you see here that also the vision and also maybe the mindset is not 100% focused that this is the future. So this is interesting. So you can compare your own score. Is a scale of 1 to 5. Is it below or above this one? So this is a mindset one. This is a skill set one. The competency assessments. How would you rate the overall competency of your company on Azure? 33% declare to have no competencies on Azure. So only 30% is absolutely sure that they are mastering and that is their strength. So hold on. So there's huge opportunity. We see that the market is growing, but we don't have the competency. We don't have the skills available to do that. So a very interesting point. Where are you as a partner based compared with this 2.1? Where are you, above or below? So is it something to focus on or develop? Can I give you an example of tool set? Do you have a dedicated or part of your compensation plan for sales or other people for cloud? Only 8% has a compensation in place based on cloud sales. So hold on. So you want to grow on cloud. The cloud business is growing. It's enormous market, it's potential. Maybe you come from something else, some kind of business. But if you want to grow there and you don't pay people for it, how are you going to stimulate them? Because I always tell you, tell me how people are get rewarded, and I'm going to tell you their behavior. So if they are measured and paid on cloud business, they will focus on it because they can earn money with it. So their behavior will change the moment you have a compensation plan in place for cloud business. So if 92% is on this side, I think almost everybody in the call has no compensation in place. So something to work on. So what success looks like? Red here is the average. And green are the best partners. And what I just showed you, the one who does in the beginning, the partners who focus on Azure business with hybrid cloud solutions, they grow faster, they have more margin than their peers. So there's a mindset risk, a skill set risk, and a tool set risk. And this is based on 672 answers in Western Europe. So what you see here, for example, the mindset, the lack of storytelling. And in common or in general, cloud is still seen as a technology of its future. There's no cloud strategy. The selling model is still stuck on a reselling mode. So what's the story? What's your mindset? Do you want to change? The skill set. It's still cost center, not a profit center. And it's not reflected, and then there's no time spent on strategic thinking. It's not reflected in a clear business action. So people don't act on it. And on the toolset side, cloud is still not a dedicated part of the business. Or managing tools are not being used. So you see here, and I think most of you will recognize those things. So there is a big opportunity. There are partners who have it in place. So look at your score, look at the average, and look at the best partners. So then you know exactly where to focus on to develop and improve. So where to play and how to win. Here it comes back again. So you see here, core, growth, transform. Core, growth, transform. Core is actually move to the cloud. Easy business. A lot of you can do that. Operate in the cloud becomes is one step higher, and transform in the cloud towards innovation in the cloud. So you see, you need more tool sets or more skill sets, or the effect of mindset is growth is big here. So you have people with a limited vision and a very good skill set and almost no management tools. So they're actually here. You have partners with limited vision, but a lot of good tool sets, but not a lot of technical skills. So they are more here. Partner with no vision at all and a relatively good skill set or tool set. They're somewhere here. So if you're here, for example, you've stabilized your profitability. If you're here, you can increase, or here you can even boost. If you are good here, you can maintain revenue. Or if you improve here, you can increase revenue. Or you can even boost revenue. So what's going to happen if you do this and this So know how to win, so developing new offerings and see where to play, creating new markets and addressing new customers. So this is interesting because I show you this, and this is not a technical slide, because if you look at where to play, and one back to show you the skill set effect and the tool set effect, is the question, this is you, and this is Azure. Where do you want to play? This is very capital intensive, operational focused, and fixed offering. This is service intensive, development focused, and innovation and growth. And there is a seamless integration possible between the Azure cloud and your own cloud. So you can bring Azure into your data center or extend your cloud offerings with Azure. So if you don't have the tool set, you can use it. If you don't have the skill set, use the skills or focusing on it. But what you will see is that the management, the security, the data services, development tools, and DevOps are all part of the solutions. And C, those are the things customers have as their top priority, their top challenge. This is an example. These are partners in Europe who embraced and who said, I'm not going to do it ourselves. We see opportunities. We see that Microsoft is growing. We can do everything ourselves, but how can we evolve? How can we work together? How can we use each other's skills? And how can we use the skills and tools and services from Microsoft Azure to grow our business, to grow our top line, to grow our margin, to grow our value and our added value towards customers and solve their problems? So those are great examples of partners who embraced it and they grow very fast. And I think most of you know this from Microsoft. Azure Arc enables hybrid and multi-cloud. So managing and operating your infrastructure from the cloud control plane and run Azure service on your own infrastructure. So actually what I say, the best of both worlds. And those are general available. The service enablement, SQL services, and Kubernetes. So make use of this. Think about what are the steps you're going to take. What are the actions? And in next webinar, I'm going to explain it from an organization point of view, how you can do it towards the customer to make sure that you offer what's needed, that you change your organization, and it gives you templates and tools where to focus on and create action plans. It's available in the market. The opportunity is there. And before I go to the questions, it shows from surveys from McKinsey that multi-clouds lead to higher profits. This is the very common, the last 10, 20, 30 years, reselling a product is margin only. If you add services to it, you increase your profitability. If you add managed service to it, you see as a package service to our customers, the managed services proposition, you see that the profit goes to 45%. And if you really have package IP, so you offer a solution based on the challenge of the customer, based on a niche market, based on a certain customer type, together with your own solution, together with Microsoft Azure Solution Services, and you can increase your profit to 70%. And what you see here, the more you go to the right, the more opportunity for recurring revenue. So the recurring revenue is great because you know every year what's coming in at least. So you are secure on your basic revenue, basic margins, and you can grow from there. If you click on this, there's a very interesting white paper from McKinsey, SaaS and the Rules of 40. Keys to the critical value creation metrics. Very interesting to read, and there you see those numbers come back. So there's a call to action. The first question today was, how's the market look like? What's the opportunity? What's the existing business? What's the potential business? And the conclusion, I think, is there are a lot of lots of opportunities in the market. Together, yourself, with Arrow, and with Microsoft. Before we close and go to the questions, I want to ask you to scan this QR code and give you small feedback on the first session. It's very useful for us, for Microsoft and for Arrow, so that we can improve even the story more and more based on your requirements. So the action points is attend webinar 2 and 3. So the next one is next week. It's about the customer journey, and number 3 is about campaigns. So it's 5 minutes to 11, 5 more minutes. So summarize, guys and ladies, there is such a big opportunity. We give you the first insight and steps where to look at. Mindset, tool set, and skill set. Look at the market, and I give you nice templates and nice examples next time on how facilitate and be aligned with the customer journey, how to align your organization. And then the last one, how to execute on it. Okay, I'm gonna see whether there are questions.
I don't see any questions at this time, Edwin. If you have questions, you can also send them by mail afterwards.
No problem at
and
all.
We will forward them to Edwin.
And I'll come back then next time. No problem.
Yeah. So if you have questions but you don't want to share them here, no problem at all.
Yeah, there was. Will you provide the slides? Yes, after the webinar, we're gonna collect all the slides. And what I said, I explained 3 of the 12 questions from the survey, so you get them all 12. So I'm providing them to Arrow, and Arrow will distribute them under the partners who attend the webinar today. So you'll get them.
Yeah.
Last time I got the question from how do I know what the customer wants, what he wants to know, and what his challenges really are, and the different scenarios, your value proposition, what you're going to offer, will be handled in our next webinar. So I know from experience, because I used to work in channel, I used to work in solution selling, I used to work in consultancy, and in all kind of management and direction roles. How to approach this customer, how to know the journey, and adapt your offer to that. So that's the next session in a week time. So I would urge you, please make your agenda available, because it's very interesting, and the tools, the feedback we got until now is that the tools are very useful. Oh, there's a question from where do we have figure from Luxembourg? That's a specific Luxembourg. What we do is what I said. The data is based on 687 partners from Europe. You do your own assessment from your own perspective. You answer the 12 questions, And based on that, you get a result, a score, in the same order as the questions. And as you get all the 12 benchmark numbers from Europe, you can benchmark your own organization compared with the average from Europe. We don't, or we're not able to provide now all the details, especially for Luxembourg or Belgium, the Netherlands, whatever. Because I think the interesting thing is to make sure that you are ahead of everybody and know where to focus on to develop. Maybe you are already all, on a good position in mindset, and you only have to change your skill set. So back to the question, not specific for Luxembourg, is based on Europe, because what we want to do, if the number is 687, it's big enough to have a very good general view. Otherwise, the numbers are not big enough to have a good solution, good result. Yeah, the next seminar is by heart next Wednesday. Am I right? No, next Thursday. Sorry, next Thursday, 10 o'clock. So that's June 22nd, 10 o'clock in the morning. And as far as I know, everybody already got their invitation in their agenda. If not, reminder will be sent out by Arrow. Thank you for your time this morning. Hopefully it was useful for you. But sure, take out of it what's useful for you. And I'll see you next week. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.